See ya, top 10. See ya winning another game in the Prem. See ya being a serious club. Goodbye, legitimacy of Manchester United Football Club. It's the slow and unpreventable death of Manchester United, guys. It's what we're on the way down and we're on the way out. Maybe we don't get relegated this season. I'm sure we won't get relegated this season, but maybe next season. There's always a next season. Next year is our year. Our turn is coming up, guys. We will be relegated next season. Relegated next season. I mean, the the issue here that I'm seeing from a lot of people, from a lot of outcry, is that our problems is the formation, right? It's got to be the manager. It's Amram's fault, right? And I don't dispute that today's isolated result, that the team selection was absolutely shambolic. Like, what in fuck's name was that team selection? Genuinely, what the fuck was that? So, Jean-Claude Mateta scores 2 goals in a Palace 2-0 win. Manchester United, how many attempts did we actually have? 17, allegedly, and 2 on target, guys. 2. We had 2 shots on target. I'm almost certain that by halftime we had 0. And there is absolutely no way that we're going into other games and thinking, yeah, sure, we'll do something here. We'll do something here. The midfield situation sees Ugarte and Bruno playing. Bruno's very quickly becoming a part, or to me, to everybody else, he's quickly becoming a part of a big problem that that cannot be solved without cannot be solved without him being solved. I'm already fully in the belief that Bruno in this team, we can't progress, we can't get better. People will say, but what about his captaincy and leadership? And I think that he's not really a leader. He's just the loudest guy on the pitch, isn't he? But let's distinguish between leader and loudest, right? Leader is someone who leads by example. He gets stuck in. He does all the dirty work. Maybe if we want to put a label on it by saying, well, the player that really puts the most amount of effort in and covers the most ground and gets stuck in the most would be the one that shows most example. Well, then in that case, you might as well give the captaincy to Ugarte. I mean, there's one person who's got some leadership qualities, and that's Matthias de Ligt, right? Matthias de Ligt at the age of, what, 25? Yeah, about 25 years of age. Arsenal have somehow managed to embarrass Man City a whole heck of a lot more than Palace have embarrassed us, even though technically there's nothing more embarrassing than being a Man United fan. The team selection today made absolutely no sense. Kobbie Mainoo, I said, play him in the 10. Play Xerxes, play Mainoo in the 10, and you get a good thing, and then Amarim's just like, yeah, about that. I'm going to need you to get vexed for me again. And so he played him out as a false 9, and I'm thinking, what the fuck are you on? What? At first, I thought you started Fernandes up top at a false 9 because that's the other midfielder that we've constantly played in the striker position, under the anticipation that, maybe we'll bamboozle them, guys. Maybe let's not play a striker. Let's confuse them. No, the only thing that you bamboozle is yourself, because you get about 10 minutes into the game and you start questioning your life. What the fuck am I doing here? Why am I here? What is going on? That's the sort of team selection move that I could say that somebody who's under immense pressure would make to try and get themselves the sack. Because I certainly would never have played Mainu up as the false nine. I never would have done it, even if we did start the game well. I don't really care. I don't really care. He's not a nine, guys. He's more create to link up with the nine, and the nine is your clinical goal scorer. We know that we don't necessarily have clinical goal scorers in the team, but last time I checked, Xerxes is a whole heck of a lot better than Rasmus, and Rasmus in the nine is a whole heck of a lot better than anybody else on this team in the number 9 position. I mean, that's just the reality of the situation. So I don't know why we've not gone with utilizing that. Diogo Dalot honestly could. I think this guy just plays because why the fuck not? He's Portuguese, and I feel like there's a Portuguese bias that's being birthed at this club at the moment, and it's a surefire way to get in the sack. I don't believe in sacking Amorim because let's just be real. Outside of poor game management or poor team selection, on a tactical perspective, people who say that the issues with this team are tactical related don't really know football. Because if you know football, you'll understand that we've played probably the most amount of different formations than any other club on the planet has in the past decade. We've probably played more formations than everybody else has. We played, what is it? We played 4-4-2s and 4-4-1-1s. We've played 4-2-3-1s. We played 4-3-3s. Variations to that fact as well. We've played the Gegenpress 4-2-2-2. We've played a back 5-3-2s. We've played 5-2-3. We've played, pretty sure we played 5-4-1 before. Not very much, but definitely played it before. We've played a 4-2, 4-1-2-1-2. We've played a 4-3-1-2. We played 4-3-2-1. We played 3-4-3. We've played 3-5-2. We've played 3-4-2-1. We've played a lot of formations there, guys. That's a lot of formations. What's the one common denominator about all of those formations? I'll tell you. Man United were just as shit in performance-based capacity as every other formation. Just different collection of players, but equally just as shambolic. Equally just as much of a joke as we are now. So it doesn't really matter what the formation is then, doesn't it? Doesn't really matter. For as long as there are players at this club that just can't perform and are not very smart, bless them. They still need their parents to tie their shoelaces. They can't really do anything like that requires rubbing your two brain cells together, because you need two brain cells to actually rub those two together. And Man United players usually get found with only just the one lonely brain cell. Is the makeup, the DNA makeup, the mental makeup of a Man United player, it seems. Martinez injury, that's probably his time at Man United done. Let's just be real. It might legitimately be his time done at the club. because if it's as bad as people seemingly make it out to be, then we won't be seeing him for well over a year. We won't be seeing him for a very, very, very long time. And we've still got a finished Harry Maguire. And today we were reminded as to why Harry Maguire should not be at this club. And I stand corrected on that. I did want this guy gone. Um, and I very much still am. Well, I'm reminded as to why I very much wanted this guy gone. You know, I was giving credit where credit was due. When he played well, he played well. You know, you give people their flowers when they do a good job, and he is no longer performs doing a good job, but rather the issues that we've seen from him before, he's showing us again. So Maguire's back on the sell list for me. Lindelof is kind of finished at this point. Evans is injured. Yoro's showing bouts of inexperience. Um, Matthijs de Ligt is kind of it. That's kind of it. That's kind of all we've got, to be honest, as far as a centre back goes. That's like fit, but then is quality enough to start for the club. Luke Shaw will look at a blade of grass on a football pitch and drop dead from injury. So, like, he'll fold like a deck chair in the wind on a stormy beach. He'll fold. He'll disappear. He'll fold and then he'll fly the fuck away back to the emergency room, back to A&E. It's because he hurt his foot when he went to take a step, and the wind blew 0.01 mile per hour too strong in southwest direction. So that's the matter with Shaw. Quicker we get rid of him, the better. But then again, I say the quicker we get rid of him. Oh, the transfer from just when we've really got done with this an absolute waste of time of a football match. It wasn't really a football match. It was just a stress test for humans to see how much mental abuse that humans can take. Classic Man United. Matthias Tel, guys, is not coming to the club. The negotiations have stopped. They've fallen through. Bayern want the permanent, and we are only going for a loan because we can't afford to buy people. Why the fuck would we buy people? We can only loan people. So now there's people talking about, oh, well, Manchester United are exploring other options. Like, fuck off, fuck off, fuck off. We know that the only two choices of Manchester United is no signings. Yeah, no signings between now and deadline day tomorrow. Or we get a player that is right on the end of his tether. Christopher Nkunku could technically qualify for that. I mean, at first I was quite warm to the idea of Christopher Nkunku, but then it's like just doing the background checks on Christopher Nkunku, just seeing what is the reputation, not of his attitude. I don't necessarily think he has any attitude, but rather the fitness aspect and also the level that he has lost. You know, I think Christopher Nkunku that was ripping it up for Leipzig would have been, you know, prime choice, prime choice for Man United, but that's not the case. That's not the case. Chelsea, he's seen a lot of injuries, and he's seen a diminishing of level of quality. And now we are looking at that option as an emergency. And to be quite frankly honest, I don't have faith that Man United will do this deal. I don't have faith that Man United will get any deals done in time. But that's the coup de grace with it. Do we need the number 9? Well, I mean, there's 2 fit number 9s on the bench. Or do we need a number 10? Because again, we can't create jack shit. Can't create jack shit, and our defense looks Poppadom strength. Strength of a Poppadom. Blow hard enough and it will crack. That's the reality of the situation. Nobody gets my man of the match. Nobody deserves a man of the match award. I sincerely hope that they took the man of the match awards and stomp that shit into the ground. Other than that, give the Premier League man of the match award to Jean-Claude Mateta, because obviously he scored 2 goals. He deserves it. But yeah, I mean, we are so finished as a club. So finished. We'll never achieve anything. Like, we won't go anywhere. We won't come back, because it's not like a quick fix job for some clubs, or it's you just need one singular rebuild. One singular rebuild and give it a little bit of time to sort of get up to speed a bit. We're not in that position. We're not. The position we're in is, holy shit, the house is burnt down, but I'm still going to walk into the wreckage and change into my pajamas and go to bed. Except my bed is charred. It's a pile of ash. But I'm still going to go sleep in it. That house is Manchester United, and we're expecting players to come in and just be like, yeah, I love it here. Even if Tell wanted to join Man United, the club, Bayern Munich, were never gonna allow Man United to get their way with a deal. But I suppose it was always worth a try. Don't really have a plan B option in the wings, because a club that's proactive prepares for all of these sort of things. But not Man United. No, we're still run by Glazonomics, guys. And let me put it this way. I'll put it to you this way. If we get to the closing of the transfer window tomorrow, and we have signed no players for the attacking positions, more specifically in the 10, that is the willingness of this club to leave a very short position, like very much short. The willingness to say, yeah, we can't sign anybody. Well, I mean, you can very much sign people. I mean, the transfer window opened on the 1st of January. Guys, we're in February. We are in February. And I, for the goddamn life of me, can't possibly fathom what Manchester United and Ineos were doing for most of the month. So I see some people say, oh, we had to sell. We had to sell. How come we didn't sell anybody? We didn't sell anybody. But then we still bought. That's weird. See, it's not called a loan to buy. It's called a sell to buy. You sell somebody, you get the money back. Right? You then put the money you make towards the transfers that you want to bring in. That's not the product. That's not the project of Ineos in this January transfer window. Oh no, it was not. They've basically preached to sell to buy, but then accidentally let the mask slip that it was never about a sell to buy, because they loaned players out. And people say, but what about the wage bills? What about the wage bill? Yet you guys do realise that if it was about the wage bill, the players you sign here on the permanent come in, but then the wages go straight back up to Jupiter when the players who are on loan come back. Yeah, because then it becomes a job of selling them on. That's why Man United are so desperate to get this Rashford deal agreed. And by the way, we are still run by the Glazers, and I can tell you right now, Joel Dickhead Glazer or Avram piece of shit Glazer is sat somewhere right now speaking to somebody from Ineos over the phone and saying, cancel the Rashford transfer. He's gotta play. Seriously. We're run by the fucking circus. Run by the fucking circus. No players come in tomorrow. I would say Manchester United have hope if there are protests all over the fucking country to get the Glazers out of this club and Ineos. Protests. You know, you can protest against the players as well. Because England, for some weird fucking reason, is the only country on the planet where protesting against a player or showing disdain for a player is very much frowned upon. No, no, no. Don't do that. Don't do that. Meanwhile, everybody else can near down burn these players' houses down and get away scot free. Well, at least the players don't fuck around at these other clubs. And when a player does decide to get all ballsy with it, guess what the club do? They sack them. They terminate the contract. Seriously, they sack players in Europe. Maybe that's why English players didn't really fancy it going out there, because a lot of the English players, like to fuck around a little bit. Their standards of culture and of acceptance are so far through the floor that the second they walk in through the door, they could smell the air of bullshit surrounding you, and they'd kick your ass straight back out the door again. They'll say, yeah, about that, we cancel our transfer. We don't want you joining us. The players that go early, that adapt to the culture, that learn that culture, at least they've got a bit of a little shred of understanding as to the importance of actually performing for a football team in elite level football. We don't have anybody that can do that. So we just, as Man United fans, if we want hope, then protest. Protest against the ownership, protest against the players. If you are happy to see Manchester United die, then just shut the fuck up. Just shut the fuck up. Just say, oh, don't worry, guys, we go again. Leicester midweek, we'll go again. Fuck off. Leicester midweek, we'll go again. Fucking Friday. Yeah, mate, we'll go. We'll be at the FA Cup. We'll be at the FA Cup, and then Spurs will slap the fucking shit out of us the following game in the Prem. And they'll be it'll be absolutely futile us doing anything. So yeah, to be quite frankly honest, guys, I'm absolutely bored of talking about my football club, because it's always the same fucking shit. The same fucking shit every fucking week. Players don't care, owners don't care, fans don't care. And the reason why I started supporting this club is a pipe dream. It's gone. There is honestly no point in me supporting my club anymore. There really isn't any point. Because it's not a club that's about football. We're run by owners that care about it being a business. We've got an owner in Jimbo Ratface, who's made this a vanity project.
Oh, look at me. I'm a boyhood Man United fan. But I'll try and buy every other major club before I buy Man United.
Yeah, sure. Sure you did. Sure you are. 100% lifelong Man United fan. We've got fans that would much rather make out with French kissing players than actually care about the betterment of the football club. So, those standards are absolutely fucking dead and buried and in the bin. And there's just the only people really I sort of feel sorry for is the manager and his coaching staff. Literally the only people I feel sorry for. Because even when they make the mistakes, guess what? Everybody says they are the problem. And when there's a problematic performance, but Man United win, guess what? Everyone still goes, "Oh yeah, the coaching staff could have, they nearly did this, that, the coaching, the manager." No, it's only ever about the manager, which tells me that the only person that at all has any relevance of being worth talking about is the manager. But I don't, I don't see the manager as a problem. Well, I know this is a fact of life. The manager is not the problem, and yet everybody is still here talking about the manager. He's the one that has to go. Yep, the manager has to go, and all the players must stay, especially the very, very worst ones, the worst players, the baddest of apples. They have to stay. Get rid of any of the decent players. Force the shitty ones to stay. Get the PR media to spin a story about how we're trying our hardest and we really care and we're doing everything we can to get ourselves to winning trophies again. And yeah, round and around we go. We fully expect you to be a real Man United fan, though, and support and back your players. I don't care for backing any of these players. I don't care for them. I don't support these players. I really don't. Call me a fake fan if you want. At least if I was, if me wasn't, if you or I were in charge of Manchester United, I can verifiably say that my club would keep its doors open for a whole fucking hell of a lot longer than yours would. Yours would be done within the decade. Because I have fucking standards. I'll get the best in class and professions and do the jobs I don't know how to do. But above all else, everybody knows that you better be fucking shit scared of failing at this club. Because I will eat your fucking head off. But that's not what happens at United. That's not what happens. So, of course, standards will forever drop. We'll never get them back. And it'll be the fan base's fault, the owner's fault, the players' fault. But yeah, I can pick out 3-point problems with the current situation at the club. But everybody else is too busy picking out one. Seems like because I can pick out more problems is definitely a surefire sign that maybe I'm the one that's right. Because for a situation quite like this, there's many, many holes in your ship that is sinking. Well, guess what? I've found way more holes in that sinking ship than anybody else. Good job with you guys. Good job. Anyways, um, leave your thoughts in the comment section. Tell me whether you're a Madrid fan yet. Because honestly, I wouldn't have any spite for anybody that wants to jump ship to support a club that's a football club and actually feels valued as a football fan, and that it is a respect, that a club has respect for its fans. Man United does not. That I can promise you. Honestly, they could not care whether you were dead or alive. Seriously, they really, really don't. I promise you that. So, yeah. Smash a like, subscribe, do what you got to do, or dislike if you so fancy, like pressing upside down thumb buttons if you enjoy that. Um, and yeah, Sunday night takeaway show is going to be later on tonight. I'll probably be on there. Probably not for the whole show because I am fatigued as fuck. Honestly, watching Man City try to play football today put me to sleep. Uh, it's not that they just are that shit. It's just fucking hell. They suck the life and joy out of a game. But anyways, take care, guys. I'm out. Fucking hell.